I'm so excited. All right, we're recording. Got this. We'll record it for anybody who can't be on. But if you guys don't know who I am one of the VIP leaders in the company, Stacy Crown. I have been with It Works for 7 years. I restarted in 2018. So my third year is coming up. And my anniversary is coming up the 11th, which is super exciting. Just drop how long you've been with the company in the chat so I can see who we're working with. Tonight is going to be so good. We have some amazing VIP leaders. We have Jamie, Danielle, Emily, Jen, Tavia, I can finally say your name right, and myself. I'm not going to say last names because I completely botch them. Look at this. We have 4 years, 5 years, 5 years, 5 years, 2 years, 1 year, 3 months, 3.5 years, 8 years, 4 months, 6 years, 3 months, 5 months, 1.5 years. I love this, you guys, because guess what? At one point I had quit and come back because that's just how amazing freaking It Works is. So if you're in your first 3 to 6 months, keep on going. It can change your life like it's done for so many of us. They decided that I'm the hype girl, I'm the Oprah tonight. So we're going to be talking about a few things. We're going to be talking about straight fire. It's going to be enrollment tips, posting tips, leadership tips that you might need or have questions about, organization tips, and follow-up tips for this month. Everyone's going to be talking really fast, so get your pen and your paper, get if you're on a computer, get a Google Doc open and just take all the notes so you can share them with your team and be the amazing leader that you are. We're super excited that 42 people are on, ready to learn, ready to go. Go you, because you've shown up. And you know what? When you show up, your paycheck goes up. So we're going to start tonight with Jamie, and she is going to give us all the fire. So go ahead, Jamie, unmute yourself and I'll mute myself.
Hey, you guys. I hope everybody is having an awesome Sunday. It has been a crazy day around here already. For those of y'all that don't know me, my name is Jamie Whitehead. I am a triple diamond. I've been with the business for 4 years. And it retired me a couple of years ago. So like Stacy said, we're just going to rapid fire some tips for you so that you can make the most out of October. So first things first, the name of the game is enrolling. We are 4 and 1, 4 and 1, 4 and 1. So my enrollment tip for you guys is if what you're doing currently is not yielding enrollments, switch it up. Sometimes we get in the groove of like, okay, I'm really good at Hapsire, I'm really good at TikTok, I'm really good at TikToker, I'm really, you know what I mean? And you just keep doing the same things, and you look up and it's been 4 days or a week without an enrollment. Maybe switch it up, maybe go live in your stories, maybe do like a host to post boost where you challenge yourself to get up a bunch of extra host to post over the course of 48 hours, something. Switch it up, because if you're not yielding the results that you want from what you're doing, then change it up. For me personally, host to post is the name of my game. So I do host to post boosts 3 times a month. And that is my absolute favorite. I try and do 25 host to posts a day for 3 days in a row and just really focus on getting those up. And it always flips my market and it always brings me a bunch of enrollment. So that is my enrollment tip. Posting tip, you guys post. I'm gonna actually just give y'all a really basic one. If you are not posting consistently, people don't know that you're open. I saw that we have everybody from like beginners that just joined the business that have only been in a couple of months or even weeks, all the way through 6 years or whatever. So if you are posting inconsistently on your Facebook or on your Instagram or on your stories or TikTok, people don't know that you're open. So be consistent. Set whatever cadence that looks like, whether it's once a day, twice a day, 3 times a day, whatever that looks like for you, figure it out and do that consistently so that people know what to expect from you, because a confused mind says no, and you want to be the face that they think of whenever they're ready to get started, whether it's with the products or the business. So be consistent, whatever that looks like for you. Leadership tip, you guys, this is so easy. Lead from the front. Be the distributor that you want your distributors to be. If you want your distributors to show up to Zooms, you got to show up first. If you want your distributors to get 10 haps up a day, you got to do it first. So whatever you want from your distributors, take 10 minutes and write down a list of what your ideal distributor looks like and show up as that person first, and you will be amazed what you attract. So that's leadership. Leadership starts with you. You just have to lead from the front. Organization. Okay, so if you don't have a checklist, get a checklist. We have KPI lists. If you are in Generize downline, then we have the accountability spreadsheets that you can go back and look at. You can just make a good old fashioned checklist. You can do a plan your day kind of a thing and write down your core 4 plus more, whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to accomplish for your business, write it down, have a checklist so that at the end of the day, if it does or does not get done, you can check it off and you can really take a hard look at what you're doing. So stay organized, not just about your enrollments and your host to post and things like that, but stay organized about what you want to accomplish on a daily basis, because what happens daily is what happens weekly and what compounds into monthly and year, right? So you want to make sure that you're showing up every single day and you know exactly what it looks like for you to do that. And then last but not least, follow up. Follow up for me is so freaking key, you guys. Most people start their mornings with self-development and journaling and or a devotional or something like that. I do the same thing, but the very first thing that I do when I touch my business after that is taken care of is I scroll all the way back to yesterday's first message that I sent out, and I follow up with people that I sent a host to post to go up, and I say, hey, is today a better day for you to get that host to post shared? Follow up with those people. If you sent somebody pricing, follow up with them and say, hey, our conversation died off last night. Is now a better time to talk? Or do you have time to chat later? But start at message 1 from yesterday and scroll all the way up and make sure you've got their name on some sort of list, whether you're a paper and pencil or you keep your PDTs and PLCs in your phone, however you track that. Start from the beginning of the day yesterday and do it every single day, you guys. People are normal and people are human and they forget and they open messages when they're standing in checkout lines. And so if you follow up with them next day, 1, it shows that you are super confident in what you have to offer. And 2, people are still interested. And likely it was just like, oh shoot, I forgot because XYZ, right? So rekindle that conversation very next day and make sure that you've got their name written down. That's it.
I love it. You guys, one thing I will say that I forgot to mention, we want to see your faces. So take yourself, if you're not doing anything illegal, okay, and you're dressed, please put your camera on because we would love to see you, okay? We also love it when a chat, have you ever been on Zoom and it's like super fire, but like no one is being fiery? Like we want to see how excited you guys are. Because if you guys aren't excited, then hop off, right? Like get excited, share your aha that you had with Jamie, and then we're going to hear from Danielle next.
Hello. Hi, guys. How's everybody doing? Thanks so much, Jamie. That was awesome. I loved all those tips. Guys, I have been in this business for 8 years. And when I first got started, I was super skeptic about everything. I just looked so much into things. And once I got the ball rolling and I started to really see what this company could do for me, the light bulb went off and I really realized what I could do with it. And that's when I was able to leave teaching, be a stay-at-home mom with my little man. I went on maternity leave and still have not returned. And I've had a lot of life happen since I've been in this business for 8 years. So I'm still staying at home. I've got 3 babies and I've also had a lot of life happen during that time. I've had 2 miscarriages and my father was really sick and then he ended up passing away. So I've been through lots of ups and downs in this company and I'm a lifer. I will always be here. And I always thought that I got started in this business to do all the things like staying home. But when you have life happen, that's really hard. That's when, life is going to get hard. So you got to work through those hard times. So that's something I just wanted to start off with real quick. My enrollment tip is my number 1 tip, you guys, is Greenlight messaging, because people are active. People are literally staring at their phone. So it's like you catch them when they're on, and it's just a follow-up tool. It's not anything specific that I say to them. It's like, hey, they're on. Figure out where you left off with that conversation and start that conversation going back again. The number one message that I send, I always blame it on my kids. Hey, I just got the kids down for bed. I'm getting some orders in, wanted to follow up with you guys. I will send that while the kids are sitting on the couch watching TV, if it's around bedtime. Okay. And host a post. My biggest tip with the host post is to perfect it so that it works for you. Have a system and then follow up through that system. There's so many different ways that you can kill host a post. You got to figure out what worked best for you and kill it. And if you're like, I don't feel like I'm killing it with host a post, then you have to go hop on some trainings, because there's a ton of trainings out there. You've got to perfect it and make it work for you. My best tip for posting, and again, I've been in this business for 8 years, you guys, is follow other leaders and get ideas from them. Stacy, the other day, she messaged me and I was like, girl, I was just on your page stealing your post. Like, I'm following people who like are a lot like me. Stacy, her life is crazy. My life, kids, and it's just crazy all the time. So I feel like her posts like relate a lot to me. So I'm still following other people and getting ideas from them, and then I just tweak it and I make it my own. You can save them in boards. Honestly, for me, I still save them in notes. And that's what works for me. Leadership tip: stay close to the fire, stay plugged in, stay close to the fire, and go out and find more of you. I always told myself, I just want more Danielles. I want more people that are going to work this business with me, beside me. And I'll always lead from the front. That's not a problem with me. I always will. Even when I'm having hard things happen in my life, I'll still be there. I have a timer going because I want to make sure I don't go too far over. Organizational tips: have a checklist, KPI, kind of the same thing Jamie said, and keep track of the people that you're following up with. I feel like for me, my biggest flaw is when life gets really hard, I kind of forget to do that. It's like I just go through the motions. I'll post great all day, every day, but it's like you have to follow up with people. And my best follow-up tip is to actually do it. So write down those names and have a system, but you guys, you actually have to follow up with those people. Have a system, whether it's follow up Friday, whether it's 2 times a week. Set a timer in your phone. Like, that's not a bad thing. Set a timer in your phone every Friday to follow up with people. And you can use a notebook, or me, I always have my phone with me. So I use an app called Pocket List. And you have to remember, people are always busy. I always picture people like making dinner or driving in their car or running around with their kids. They're busy. They're not going to be like, oh yeah, sure. What do you have to say? I have all day to listen to you. No, it's not how it works. A couple of tips I just want to share real quick is don't overcomplicate things. Don't overthink it. Just do it. Follow others to get ideas from them. Do power hours and actually be intentional with your time. So for me right now, in this crazy season of my life, I would totally get up in the morning, but mornings don't work for me. So I have to either do it at nap time, or I have to do it when the kids go to bed. But you have to be intentional with that time. And for me, it's like, I don't answer any messages coming in. I'm focused on what I'm doing, and everything else is totally blocked out. Be intentional. Communicate with your kids and your spouse or whoever, and let them know, listen, I've got a Zoom. I have to be on this. I need you to do this, this, and that. You have to communicate with others. Use the products, use the projects, set timers in your phone again, if you need to do that. And again, what's not working, if something's not working, change it up. Guys, when and this is my last thing and I'm done. They announced this promotion 4-in-1. You guys, it was the 14th of the month and I had 1 enrollment, and I was like, what is happening? This is so frustrating. I knew about this on the 1st of the month, for God's sakes. So I had to like totally, and I'm going to be honest with you, I threw out my checklist. I was like, I'm done. Threw out my checklist because I was so consistent with it and it wasn't doing anything for me. So I totally shifted things up, and I just went to follow up, green light message, and I ended up getting, by the end of the month, I ended up getting 2 4-in-1s. So that's such a good example of like, if something's not working and you're doing all the things, you've got to figure out what else you can switch up and do something different. So, all right, that is it for me. Again, I'd love to hear in the chat what you guys got from that. And if you have questions, I'll answer them in the chat. And next person's up.
Okay, you guys, don't judge me for my hair. Okay, we're just doing the floppy thing tonight. All right. Danielle, that was so good, and I'm so proud of you for getting 2 4-in-1s at like literally you guys, we have a fire chat where like it's a bunch of us triples together and we're like, we need this much and this much and this much. Like it was so good. And if you guys don't have those people, like find those people because they light you up. Focus on the positives. But I'm so proud of you for doing that. And you should be so proud of yourself too. All right, Emily, give us some fire.
Hey you guys, I'm super excited to be here. I am going to talk really fast. I'm from the South, so you'll hear me say y'all a lot, but here we go. So, my story is I am former military and I am an ultrasound tech who got fired on maternity leave 5 years ago. And because of this business, you guys, I have not had to go back to work ever since. So what I'm going to tell you is I want you to write down your goals. What do you want to accomplish this month? What do you want to accomplish today? What does that look like for you? If that means that you have to pull out a piece of paper and go old school kindergarten style and draw a thermometer like I did last month, put your goals, set a goal for 1,000 in volume, right? Set a goal for how many distributors you want, how much customers you want. What does that look like for you? Because so many of my leaders on my team have been doing this, and I'll just be real, during the summer, I didn't. And they kept enrolling and I kept asking them, what are you doing? What am I not doing? I'm not doing a thermometer. I am not looking at it every single day. And every time that you sign a customer, every time you sign a distributor, you color it in for yourself. And there's something to be said about when you look at that and you visualize it, how inspirational it is for you and yourself, right? Okay, so I totally will preach and get all sidetracked. So here we go. My thing is that every single morning, I've been getting up at 5 a.m. I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. If I am not waking up before them and filling my cup with goodness for myself, the first 30 minutes, then I'm not going to want to engage. I'm not going to want to message. I am not going to have my energy at the level that I need to have it at. So whatever that looks like for you, whether it's putting on some kind of gangster rap, hip hop music, whatever gets you in the groove to feel good about yourself, to want to smile. You guys, put a smile on your face when you're sending messages, because that energy can come through. And if you're voice messaging people, which I suggest doing that so that people don't think that you're just a robot, but voice message them when you're cooking dinner, when your kids are screaming, right? Like go in your stories. Okay. That's my next one for the posting tips. Show your family, show life, show what it looks like, right? Don't just try to be this cardboard box of a person. Be your messy hair like Stacy, or be like 3 days worth of makeup that I have on right now. Be that person that is just real, because people buy from real. They don't buy from a ShamWow commercial, right? You just change the channel every time you see the ShamWow. Be you, because you are different than anybody else in this business. Let them see the real you, because if we overcomplicate it and we make it so hard that nobody else can do this, nobody else is going to want to do it, right? Show them how you're able to cook dinner, or you're able to take your kids to school or sit and play with them. Think about the things that make you thankful for this business and show people how you're able to work around that, right? Because nobody wants to join something that they have to devote 8 hours a day to when they want to get away from that. Show them how you work in 10-minute increments. Show them how you are intentional and can do a full day's work of an intentional 1 hour power hour, whether that's at nighttime, nap time, with a baby on your boob, whatever it looks like. Okay. Make it that you show them what you're doing, because like they said before, if you don't get loud and proud about what you're doing, nobody knows, right? So if you're not posting every single day and staying consistent, but show when you do the enrollments, right? Get creative, take a picture of whatever it is you're doing and put your enrollment up there. People are nosy. Think about the Kardashians. We all know what they do every single day of their life, right? Because we're watching it. Let people in your life. So that's my posting tip. Leadership, what we've been doing is like small groups, right? We have been trying to do like 4 or 5 people in a chat at a time. And then they're more comfortable asking questions. They're more comfortable sharing what they're struggling with, what they're killing it at, right? And then we've been doing booms. So every single time we get host to post up, every single time we enroll a customer, every single time we have a potential or we sell samples, you guys, something that I did with my team last month that kind of made them realize, and this is kind of off topic, but I heard a lot of them saying that they were broke, that they couldn't afford to run an auto ship, that they couldn't afford to go somewhere to meet up with somebody for conference. And I did a Zoom and I talked about, you're not broke. You might be broken, but you're not broke, because we have so many different ways that we are able to make cash with this business. So how do you make fast cash? samples. So I challenged every single person on my team to sell 10 samples a month, right? Because like they were saying before, if you're in a rut, then what's going to happen? You're going to keep doing the same thing. And it's so easy for us to message for host to post that sometimes we forget just to message for samples. Message all the people that you've already talked to about potential customers, potentials that have liked anything, message them and ask them if they want to buy a sample. And then that builds your confidence, because if you don't feel like you can sign distributors, you're not going to go after that. But if you can make $200 quick and selling 10 samples, then you are going to be on fire in the belief that you can do anything, right? So be loud and proud about what it is that you're doing. Organization, y'all, I'm a fly by the seat of my pants kind of girl. The way I look at it is I am income producing, and however it looks like for you to be organized, whether it's all from your phone, your computer, you're a spreadsheet person, do what works for you. Do it. Like if it doesn't work, try something else. But I have 1,000 pieces of paper. I'm never in my office. I'm always around my phone. So I have a notebook and I just write people's names down every couple of days. And I take screenshots because I have a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old. I take screenshots of the conversation, and we are always looking at our pictures, right? So if I have a screenshot, I know, oh crap, I need to write their name down. If that I have done it, I delete it and then on to the next one. The way I look at it is that being color coordinated and doing all the fluffy stuff is not going to actually get you to where you need to be. Yes, it's great to be organized, but don't get so lost in that you forget to do the other stuff. Okay. Also for follow-up, once a week. Well, I try to do it like every 3 days. I scroll to the very bottom of my messenger and I follow up and write down people's names at the exact same time. So I go all the way back and I go to their page, and I want to tell y'all something. I have made this mistake so many times that I messaged somebody and they just had a death in the family. I messaged somebody and they just had a baby, or they just lost their job, right? Take the 2 seconds that it takes to go to their Facebook page, look at their page, like, comment, and engage on something, and then start the conversation, because you're going to be more genuine. You're going to come across as a real person and not a robot. Because if some of those things happened to me and somebody messaged me and asked if I was ready to get my order in, I would go off on them, right? How many of you would probably block, delete, and all the things? Okay. So just take that 2 seconds, because it literally takes 2 seconds. And something that I've been trying to like do and switch it out is, I have been trying to follow up every 2 days. Instead of follow up Friday, I follow up every 2 days. Because why? Because as a mom, as a woman, I need to be reminded of something 5 to 10 times. So if I need that reminder, then somebody else does too. Right? So I can't assume that they don't want what I have because I forgot to follow up with them. That's on me. And you guys, like, speak out what it is that you want. If you want to accomplish the 4-in-1 2 times this month, every single day, I'm going to sign a customer. I'm going to sign a distributor. Tell somebody, tell an accountability partner that that's what you're going to do. And then I don't care if it takes 100 messages to get 5 hosts to post up, make it 200 messages, right? And for me, my network has been stagnant and stale for so long that I am all about distributor host to post. And I have had text message after text message saying money, 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 money. And that builds your confidence like nobody's business. And even if they ghost you and don't respond, you still get comfortable, right? You still get comfortable having the conversation with new people. And that's what this is about. So I'm done.
That was so good. You guys, sometimes you hear these things and you know the things you have to do, and then you hear them and like sometimes it just clicks. That was so good. Drop your aha from Emily. That was amazing. You have your shit together even if you feel like it's falling apart, girl. I swear to God. Just like me, right? We got to remind ourselves we're powerful. Okay, I don't think Jen is on, so we are going to go to Tavia. Go, girl.
Hello. All right, guys. I am excited. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Tavia. I'm from Ohio. I'm a triple diamond. I've been in the business for 5 years this month. Oh my gosh. But I'm going to get right into it because there's a story that I want to share with you guys later that is just like, it's big, and hopefully I can explain it to the best of my ability. But first, let me go through the tips. So the first thing, you guys, enrollment, host to post, host to post. Listen, I had a love-hate relationship with host to post. Drop a 1 if you feel the same. You're like, I swear to God, if you tell me to do host to post one more time, I'm going to lose it. If you were there, I get it. Like, I get it, right? I was always like, it's just too much. I was always overwhelmed, but trust and believe. I think if you take it in tiny steps, you will find that it actually is so simple, and it is a better use of your time than you trying to post 10,000 times a day to maybe get one conversation. Okay. So if you haven't done it, use one host to post and just run. Send 30 messages every single night before bed. Try that method, try it out for a couple of weeks, see what it does for you, because it's been awesome. So, but post about what you want. Do host to post for what you need. If you need customers, do the gummies, do the cleanse. If you need distributors, do a distributor host to post. Don't overthink it. What you need is what you need to post for. Okay. It kind of leads me into posting. So I post a couple of times a day. Here's what a little thing that I think about when I post. It's story, interaction, business. But hear me out. So I want them to get to know me, and me is I'm like the weirdest, most awkward. I love science. I love the body. I love how blood flows through the body. I'm clinical, right? Not many people like that. I like that. I love doing funny reels. I like being genuinely me. I'm not for everyone, but I don't need to be for everyone, right? So I want people to get to know me. So I'll post about things that are specific to me. Maybe my shit show of the morning, excuse my language, right? We all have that. Maybe I'll post about that. Maybe I'll post about how my child took 7 minutes just to tell me he wants Cheerios and not Cinnamon Toast Crunch, right? Like, what are we doing? Okay. But you post about that. Why? So people get to know you. Then you're going to do interaction so they get to trust you. And so that's an interaction post. Drop a comment, drop this. What do you think? Do you really think that I care if they like Thanksgiving over Christmas? And I hate to say that, no, I don't. But at the end of the day, it's interaction, right? And it doesn't mean that I don't value them as a person. It means I have got to figure out a way to access my network and allow myself the opportunity to create relationships. And so I got to build up to that. I can't expect them to see a post about a cleanse and be like, hey sis, send me that link. No, it doesn't work like that, right? Okay, so I want them to get to know me, get to trust me. And the last is get them to ask me. So then I'll post about the business. So if they know you, if they trust you, guess what, boo-boo? They're going to be up in your inbox like, hey girl, what do you mean about this work from home position? I need to know, right? And so that's kind of the flow. So don't think about it as like, oh my God, okay, I gotta post about the cleanse. Oh, I gotta post this interaction post about what ketchup goes on, whatever. Like, don't think about it like that, but think about it in the aspect of just building relationships. Okay, that took too long. All right, so now leadership, give what you want. I'm a firm believer in what you need is what you give. If you need to create stability in your business, where's yours? If you need to create someone who's hardworking, like think about it like this. If I were to ask you all the qualities you want in your rock star distributor, drop some. They're trustworthy, they're loyal, they're a hard worker, they enroll, they listen to me, they follow instructions, they da-da-da-da. Okay, let me ask you, sis, are you all that? Because if you're not all that, you can't expect to ask for that and expect that you're going to receive it. The universe is very simple. What you put out is what you get back. So I firmly believe what I put out is what I'm looking for. It's no different than my husband, real fast. Like, let's be real. Like, if you want more affection, if you want more love, guess what? Sorry to say, you want to give what you want. And I kid you not, every single time you come from a place of service, you'll get back that in tenfold. Okay. All right. Organization, use notes. I have 10,000 notebooks. I've done a binder. I've done a notebooks. I've done tabs. I've done, I don't know what else. I've done a lot. Okay. But I'm in a season where sometimes I do forget my phone, but most of the time I have my phone. Okay. And so notes has been huge. So every single month I create new notes. October HAP, October enrollments. I number it out every single day. I want to fill 10 spots for host to post. I write the name in, and it's easy for me to track it this way because then you can follow up. Leads me into follow up. Some of you may do 222, follow up every 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months. If that's too much for you, follow up every single day. Emily's tip was great. If I were to go back to the bottom of my messenger, I don't even know if it exists at this point. I really wanted to stay on track with that. And I think that is a great thing. If you guys have not gotten super deep in your messenger, go back to the end if you can and write down names. I did that on Sunday, and I kid you not, I sent out all follow-up messages and I enrolled 2 customers in a matter of 60 minutes just by doing it. Not because I'm like me, is because we talked multiple times before, and I sent the, hey girl, I'm putting in some orders, like Danielle said, hey, I'm putting in some orders, like I just thought of you, do you want me to go ahead and get yours in? And they're like, you know what, yeah, go ahead and send me the link. Bam, done, right? So that's my follow-up tips. So now, really quick, Stacey, can I tell my story? Okay, all right. So you guys, I was at church today. My team knows I love sharing things on Monday, but I'm sharing it for you guys tonight. So he talks about basically in the Bible, there's, and I'm sorry to get really preachy. I'm definitely not that type, but I think this is going to impact so many of you. So hopefully I say this correctly. So there's Matthew, Mark, Luke, tells parables in the Bible, right? Well, there's this one, and I'm going to read it for you. Hold on, let me find my notes. And I really think that you guys will be blown away by this. Okay, so this first one is Luke 8. And it says, so listen to the key words. While a large crowd was gathering and people were coming to Jesus from town after town, he told this parable. A farmer went out to sow his seed. As he was scattering the seed, some fell along the path. It was trampled on and the birds ate it up. Okay, that's the first clue. Some fell on rocky ground, and when it came up, the plants withered because they had no moisture. The second clue, other seed fell among thorns, which grew up with it and choked the plants. Okay, still, other seed fell on good soil. It came up and yielded a crop 100 times more than was sown. When he said this, he called out, whoever has ears to hear, let them hear. Here's what I want to explain to you, okay? So he, of course, like had to break it down for me. So basically we're working with 4 different types of soil. But before I get into that, you guys, I want to know how many of you guys are kind of going through a season right now. Things feel heavy. Things feel like overwhelming. Oh my gosh, when it rains, it pours. Why me? Why is this happening to me? Someone's getting sick. Someone passed away. Someone lost their job. Someone's marriage is on the rocks. I don't even know if that's any of you, but we're going through something, right? And it says here, you guys, is that every single time, so the seed is God's word. Okay, if you think about the idea that the seed itself is God's word, and every single time a storm comes, what happens? The devil comes to do what? Right? He's going to steal, he's going to kill, he's going to lie, right? He's going to try to take the seed away from you so that you replace your truth that God told you for his lie, right? Because he doesn't have to destroy you if he can distract you. So this whole premise of good soil means, here's a couple of things. Some of you may be the seed that fell along the path. Picture this. You're walking down a path. There's seed on the path. Is it going to get planted and take root and grow? No, it is not. It's going to get picked up by the bird. So I picture the devil as this black crow, right? He's going to swoop down. He's going to get that seed. Your faith, if you're that seed that's laying on the path, right? Your faith is fleeting. If a storm comes in, even if you see it on the horizon, it's going to rock your world. Have you ever been through that? Where I didn't see that coming. I didn't see it coming. I wasn't prepared. I don't know where to go, right? I feel like a failure. I'm not good enough. I'm not skinny enough. I'm not this, right? We say all these things, right? So the devil's like, all right, got that seed, on to the next, right? But maybe some of you are built or trying to get planted on rocky ground. Have you guys ever wanted to dig a plant, or not dig a plant, but plant a tree, let's say? What do you have to do to the soil? You have to till it. You can't just put it in the ground. You got to take out the some of the dirt. You have to till it. You have to kind of like, I don't even know what the word is. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to get it prepared, right? In order for it to take root. But how many of you have planted before and all of a sudden you get past this superficial layer of soil and there's rocks? You're like, well, shoot, I'm glad I saw this now, because if I would have planted this, it wouldn't have taken root, right? So some of you think you hear the word, and some of you think by journaling and saying nice things to yourself every now and then is going to suffice when the season of hard comes and hits you in the face. And I'm sorry to say, but again, your faith is fleeting, because the moment that the season hits, he's going to say, your roots weren't grounded. You were planted in rocky soil. How are you ever going to produce anything if you're not willing to get planted in my word? And that's his word, right? So anytime something happens to us, we're so quick to say, why me? Why me? Why God? Why would you do this to me? Right? I'm so overwhelmed. I've got all this going on, right? Then you have thorns. And every single one of you, drop a 1 if this is you, we hold so much power in other things. Maybe your faith got rocked by a pastor that did you wrong. Maybe your marriage is falling apart. Maybe we're putting more emphasis on people that shouldn't even give us our value. But for some reason, we put our value in other people. We are so infatuated with finances. We're infatuated with everything else besides exactly what we should be, which is our own mind and our own heart, right? How do we serve more? How do we do more? And so what he's saying is, that's a thorn. It is going to choke the life out of you before you can even take root and before you can produce fruit, because you're not willing to take things out of the backpack you've been carrying your entire life. Maybe some of you have had life happen. And I know Danielle talks about, miscarrying, death in the family. How many of you guys are going through something like that? And it's heavy. And you think you lay it down, you think you give it to God, but you're not. You're literally hiking uphill with a backpack that weighs more than you do. And you're wondering why it is so hard. I'm going to tell you why it's so hard, because you haven't given it over to him. And someone told me today, they were like, well, I have given it over to him. When, sis? 3 weeks ago? It's every single day. We're human. We're emotional. We carry this baggage. You know what else was so crazy? Get this. Those of you that have kids, I'm going to tell you this right now. You don't start to do the deep work now of taking stuff out of your backpack and start believing in yourself. You're going to pass it on to your kids. And you thought your backpack was heavy. Wait till your kids get a hold of the same backpack you're passing down and they start adding their stuff, right? We got to fix what we think is broken within us. And here's the thing, you guys have to remember, and this was like huge, you guys, there's good soil. And I think every single one of you, because you're here, you want to be planted in good soil, right? And so he talks about, you guys, he talks about persevering through the breaking times. It's often the breaking of the soil that brings the blessing of the fruit, you guys. And he says, sometimes, he said, if there's no building, if there's no breaking. If you're not thinking of your entire life as if, you know what, sometimes I think I'm breaking down. You're not breaking down, you're breaking through. Sometimes God has to break you down to nothing so he can build you up exactly how he desired, right? But we think when we're going through the storm, we want to be like, oh, poor me, oh my gosh, why me? Why does this only happen to me? And she wants me to work my business and get on a Zoom and I'm barely holding my head above water, right? I'm fighting with this person, I'm fighting with this person. Everything is so heavy. I don't know if I'm going to lose my job, right? But the thing of it is that we're so focused, okay? We're so focused that for a moment, we think life is happening to us and it is breaking us down. I'm going to tell you to persevere, keep going. Because the thing of it is that in order for you to bear the fruit God intended for you, you've got to break down to break the soil so that you can get rooted to start bearing fruit. Did you guys know, last thing, redwoods in California, those trees are massive, right? Massive. Their roots only extend 6 to 12 feet. How is that possible? It's possible because the roots are connected to one another. Did you know that you're not supposed to go through difficult seasons by yourself? If you think you're supposed to go through it by yourself, you're seriously mistaken. You got to find the person that you can identify yourself within and be like, hey sis, today's a rough day for me. I'm going to need you to pray with me. I'm going to need you to, hold me up. I'm going to need you to do something. So the redwoods literally connect their roots together so that they can sustain anything that comes. Right? Like, how insane is that? So I just wanted to share that with you guys because I firmly believe sometimes we have disappointments, and I think that we think the storm is just a bad timing, but it's actually timely. It is intentional and it is on purpose, and it is only something that you can go through, because I think where we're missing it is that sometimes it takes faith to leave, but sometimes it takes faith to stay. And even though you're feeling it right now, I promise you, you're not breaking down, you're just breaking through. And I think when you see all the glory and the grace that comes after the storm, you're going to be changed. And I promise you, it's going to be worth it. So I just wanted to share that.
How do I even top that or go after that? I don't even know. Drop a one if Tavia brought you to tears, because at one point I was like, I don't even know if I can hold this together. Like, holy crap. I will say, you guys, we always say, I'm in a season. Like, but honestly, 2021 has been a whole season for me. And I don't know about you, but I'm done blaming it on the season, and I'm ready to pick up all the things that I need to pick up and let go and drop the things I need to drop. Because I think you're only going to let it be a season if you let it be a season. Literally, there's those of us that are no excuses, and there's those of us who make all the excuses. You know who you are. You can think of a sideline or someone on your team, or maybe that person, and it's okay. Give yourself grace. Know whatever you're going through. And I don't know if you guys have ever felt like this, but I want you to drop it too if you relate. If you have been in a situation in your life that you're like, how have I ever made it out? Like, literally, I'm in a spot, it's so bad, I don't know the purpose of this. And then you make it to the other side. You find the purpose in the pain. Keep going. We're not even talking business right now. We're talking death and life and miscarriages and all the things that we face and go through, job loss, whatever it is. This business is so much more than distributors and loyal customers. And literally, if people only knew that all you have to do to succeed in this right now to make your money back is 4 and 1, how many people would get in this? But then you join and you have a sisterhood. Like, there's not many companies that put God first, y'all. We have something very special here, and you should know this because you're like, I think of all of us. Oh my God, I'm getting emotional. But literally, all of us is like in that fire chat is those redwoods who've banded together, and now all of our teams. Thank you. Go over there, please. Trick or treat. Thank you. But literally, all of us have banded together, and we have 60 people on. You guys should be proud of yourselves for showing up and let go every day of the things that you can't carry anymore because it's not meant for you to carry. Right? So I'm just going to give you my tips. Everything has been said pretty much. For my personal enrollment, you guys, people have always loved when I share my personal results. You know, I can share, you know, Emily or Joe or whoever's results all day long. But when they see it happen and work for me, and mid-August, I was like, okay, I got to start something because I'm feeling fluffy. And so I was like, I need to do gummies and Skinny Brew every day. No excuses, right? And like, if you're taking gummies, take them around the same time every day. So I started, and here I am in September feeling really good. I'm down a pant size. I don't get on the scale because the scale is a liar, but I also tell my clients that as well. I'm like, listen, take the before and after pictures and put on put a pair of skinny pants out that you want to fit in a month or two and watch what happens. And I think that's okay, you guys. I think that you have to find products that you personally love. And maybe that's missing for some of you. Maybe you haven't really dove into trying a lot of the products, or maybe you have stopped being able to afford it. Well, then go do Emily's, 10 samples challenge, and then you'll be able to run your auto shipment, and then you'll find passion for the products. And then, you'll be able to share those results. And then this business is not about what you do right now, today. It's about a snowball effect. It's about showing up every single day for your business. Okay, take them downstairs. Show Daddy. Okay, all right. Go take them downstairs. This is what happens to my 3-year-old naps during the day. He's up at 9. Yep, 9. And then my other note for enrollment is just be excited about your business. You guys, some of us are so like, I don't know what to post. Blah, blah, blah. It's not about what you post. It's just about being consistent. Okay. Posting. Stop. Okay. So posting. Okay. He needs blankie, y'all. You have to be quiet if you're going to sit on my lap. Okay. I apologize. Okay. So I just wanted to mention, post consistently and post professionally. I think some of us, who are new to the business or who are old to the business, and you kind of like, pop off the professional part of like sharing your opinions. I'm not telling you not to share all the opinions, but this world is a dark place, y'all. You can get down that scroll hole. People don't necessarily need to know what side of politics you're on, or if you're vaccinated or not. Like, I'm not saying it's bad if you share those things. I'm just saying, if someone is a cat person and you put I hate cats on your wall, they might not buy from you because you hate cats. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a touchy subject. So maybe go through and comb through your professional, be Sweden. Exactly. And it's hard to be Sweden sometimes. It's hard to bite your tongue when you want to share how you feel. But I will say, the 5,000 Facebook friends, I don't really care if they know how I feel. I'm there to show up and produce income. I am not a consumer. My mom gets mad at me when she posts something cute, and she's like, did you see what I posted? I'm like, no, Mom, I didn't. Send it to me in a text message so I actually look at it, because literally I don't scroll. Like, I interact. Okay, Mom. If it doesn't come up on my like thing on my wall or whatever it's called, my timeline, like, nope, I don't see it. Sometimes I just go through at the beginning of the month and I kind of comb through. I get rid of old host to post giveaways. I make sure that I set a timer, and I go through and I actually have a collection called inspo, like VIP inspo, where I go and I follow 10 people, 10 new people to follow. And I really look at like, okay, if this person's the top 10 of the company, or, 50 through whatever, then literally I want to do what they're doing. And then I want to make it my own. Just like Danielle said, she'll go to my profile because I'm a hot mess and she's a hot mess. And we're both hot messes who are successes. And she does what I do. I do what she does. You follow the right people, right? You copy the right cats. And that's perfect because you want to follow people who you relate with. Because if I don't relate to you, then I want to show up as my brand. And sometimes that goes back to like, well, what is my brand? It's okay to take time, you guys, and sit down and be like, what do I want to represent? I don't want to be her and I don't want to be her, but I want to show up as me. And sometimes we don't know who me is. And sometimes it's taking the inner work, which there comes the self-development, listening to podcasts, reading the books, like all the things, it all backs up into that. Okay. Leadership. A lot of you in leadership positions, Ruby and above, or, Emerald or Diamond or whatever, it's like you pour so much time into your team and that you forget about yourself. One of us triples forgot about ourselves last month. And she was like, oh, it's the last few hours of the month. I guess I got to complete my 4-in-1. And it's okay. Give yourself grace. But here's the thing. You need to be focusing on 3 things. And this is what I focus on. And if you don't focus on this, it's okay, but this will work for me. And that's what I'm going to share. I focus on my leaders, Diamond and above, or people who are showing up on Zooms and showing me that they want this. I focus on emerging leaders. It kind of goes in the first one. Okay. People who I see as diamonds and above. I focus on my newbies. Obviously I focus on my newbies because I want them to earn their 4-in-1. So I make my 350, but more importantly, I want them to earn their 4-in-1 so they gain confidence to then earn the 350s and then go diamond and then go double and go triple, like all those things. It just kind of snowballs. And then I worry about my own enrollments. I should have said that backward. I worry about my own enrollments. I worry about my newbies, and then I worry about my leaders. Hold on, I'm almost done. Can you hold this piece of paper? Here, hold that little fluffy. And that sometimes we forget that we have to focus on those 3 things. Thanks, guys. Literally, we have to focus on those 3 things in order to be successful, right? Let me read this. Run with who's running and stop trying to wake the dead. Y'all, it is a pruning season. People are either going to show up or they're not. Stop trying to get people to show up that literally have already stopped. Go out and find somebody who's going to show up. Send the message, get the host to post up, ask, recruit new blood. I know that sounds awful because it's more than just boxes or blood or people, but find people who want this just as bad as you do. Sometimes we spend so much time focusing on the people who aren't doing it. No, I'm not going to focus on the, 120 other people on my team who aren't on this Zoom, but I'm going to celebrate the 5 that are. I don't even know those numbers, but I'm just saying, literally focus on what you can control, not what you can't. And what you can control is reaching out to new people, starting conversations, building relationships, finding people who want this as bad as you do. Okay, I finished that. You want to hold this one? Okay, you hold this one. Mama needs this one. Organization. You guys, I have still yet to figure this out, but here I'm going to tell you a little secret. You don't need to be organized in this business to move up ranks. You don't need to be organized to go Ruby or go Diamond. You have to have grit. You have to have determination. You have to motivate yourself. You have to wake up every day and look at your children knowing that, what I do today, it's going to help us go to Disney one day. Yeah. You better shake your head. You know what I mean? Like literally, you need to know that every single day you show up for you, and eventually your whole team's going to show up with you. Being at home is not easy. I have 3 children. I have a 6-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old. And I run 3 successful businesses, which is crazy to think that I can do that, but I can, and I will. The other day I had $1,000 day. I looked at my husband at the end of the day. I said, oh my gosh, one of my coaching clients paid this. One of my, I sold 2 boxes of this. And then I made $500 in cash doing this, like my bonuses. And I just thought, how blessed am I to be able to find the discipline, to be able to do the things that I need to do to supplement where I need to do it. If you're working full time, you go, girl. That needs to be celebrated because you get to choose. here's the thing, what I tell my team, I'm like, you guys do what you have to do. There's some people on my team that have to go find new jobs or have to go find second jobs because their business has slipped. And if you're that person right now who used to be a diamond and you're sitting at executive or Ruby, it's okay. Go do what you need to do for your family. That's legal until you have the choice to make this full time. Okay? We all have a choice. You have a choice every single day. Am I gonna show up for myself or am I not? Okay. But yeah, organization, that should be a blank one because I don't have any. Okay. I'm not gonna lie. Look at me. All right. I need a shower and I need a beer. I don't know which one I need first. I need like a full night's sleep. Okay. Follow-ups. Just literally don't forget that you need to do them. Okay. Because literally I haven't found a really great follow-up method, but I really liked whoever said they like, oh, Jamie started out and she said, I literally just go back to the first, like to yesterday. And yeah, this is why I am successful at this, Emily, because I make everybody feel normal. This is my normal. Okay. I'm not trying, and y'all, I showed up as someone else for a really long time. I thought I needed the lashes. I thought I needed the nails. I thought I needed the tan. I thought I needed to drive the nice car. It didn't matter. You know what mattered? You know when I found myself? When I got rid of all of that and I got comfortable with this. Seriously. That is when my business blew up, was when I built my brand off of who I am, not off of who I thought I needed to be. And that should give each and every one of you guys peace, knowing whatever you look like, whatever your situation is right now in life, in love, in finances, and spiritual life, all those things, that you have value here. Someone needs you, sis. So show up as her every single day. You don't have to wait till you're a certain size or you have a certain number in your bank account or you're a certain rank to show up as the best self. You can choose to walk in her shoes every single day. So do it. Anything else? Are we done? All right. We love you guys. We want you guys to get your 4-in-1 and more this week, this month. We're so excited. We can't wait to see. I just want to end this with drop a 2 if you're earning that Christmas cash, because I know I am. All right. Believe it. It's going to happen. Show up every single day. Work, sis. All right, you guys. We love you. We're here for you. And don't forget to be the redwood.